This has been my go-to banana bread for the past 5 months. I've been making this on a weekly basis. Very simple. You'll be done in a few minutes, and it's all made in a food processor. You can really put your oven on right at the start and actually be done all of the batter before the oven even heats up. So we'll get to 350 degrees on the oven, preheat it. Next, dry ingredients. 2 cups of oats. And you grind those oats into a flour. Add the other dry ingredients, baking soda. I take about that much, put it in there. A difference that I made to my recipe versus the original, I don't put baking powder. I don't feel like it really makes a difference. I've tried both. Next is cinnamon. I take about that much, a little bit more than a teaspoon. And a pinch of salt. Mix the dry ingredients together. Take the dry ingredients and put them aside. Now for the wet ingredients. 2 eggs. About a half cup of water, just under a half cup. So I put about that much, just under a half cup, between 1/3 cup and a half cup. Original recipe calls for almond milk or some kind of nut milk. I just use water for simplicity's sake. Turns out good. Next, vanilla. Recipe calls for about a teaspoon and a half. I just put a splash there. Apple cider vinegar. This one's homemade. I also put a splash of that. Then we have bananas. So I like to put 3 bananas in, medium size. If they're a little bit bigger, that's fine too. And about a cup of medjool dates. I eyeball this. Usually I don't measure out in a cup. I take about a handful, between 6 and 8 dates. And then grind all the wet ingredients together. Then add dry ingredients to the wet ingredients. Blend that all together. And add to your bread pan. Line your bread pan with parchment paper. And just pour in the batter. Once that's poured in, settle it. Your oven's probably still preheating. That's okay. Toss it in there. And the original recipe calls for about 50 to 60 minutes in the oven. I find my oven's a little slow. I bake it for about 70 minutes, so an hour, 10 minutes. You can play around with different timings to see how much it dries it out versus how much moisture is left in the batter. The amount of water, the amount of bananas also can affect how moist it is inside. And that's all there is to it. Quick, easy oatmeal banana date bread.